All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our super smiley, sensational Saturday morning Team Infinity call. So for those of you who are catching the replay, good morning, hello, good evening, welcome. And to those superstars who are here with me live, thank you for showing up live. Excited to be here. So today, I actually want to run through something really, really important. And this, I would say, is the number one reason why most people are not successful online and with social media. And as you know, I've been doing my social media ABCs. And if you haven't gotten those, just go to kickasskylie.com and you can register to get your social media ABCs delivered right to your inbox each day for free. And it's bite-sized chunks where I run through all the social media basics that you need to know to be able to build a business online. But most importantly, to make money. Because most of the people I see struggling on social media, they don't understand the map on where the money is. So what I'm going to talk about this morning is how to master your message, because that is super important. If you can't speak the same language as your audience, then you are going to miss them, and therefore you're going to miss the money. And then I'm going to hand over to the superstars who are on live with me today to be able to share and add value as well. So let's kick off. So when you are communicating, so we all have an online travel business. We're part of the #1 travel club in the world. But here's the problem. If you walk up to someone and say, hey, guess what? I'm in a multi-level marketing travel business. Want to jump into business with me? They're probably going to run the other way. Now, there are plenty of ways that you can approach people, but you need to do it the right way. The first thing that you need to do is actually pick who it is that you want to help. So when you're working online, you need to be really clear of who do you serve, what is the problem that you solve, what is the solution, which in our case is World Ventures or Dream Trips, and what is the happy ending? What is the result or the transformation that you give people out the other side? Now, I actually did a coaching call with Nolene yesterday, so I shared one of these with her. I've got a couple of examples, and I've actually literally turned these into a Facebook post, which I have started sharing on my social media page, my Travelpreneur page. So here's my first example. It absolutely breaks my heart that 50% of all marriages end in divorce. And do you know what the #1 reason is? It's money problems. And money problems can so easily be prevented. So I help save marriages by helping couples create an extra online income to take away that financial struggle. And we do that with the world's greatest travel app. So my clients get to ditch their money problems, fall in love all over again, take their dream honeymoon 3 to 4 times a year. So see how I've done that? I've basically positioned, because Paul and I have a beautiful, loving, connected relationship, and we are all about helping couples fall in love, be connected, and have fun together as a family. So in this particular example, I'm targeting couples who maybe are having, a few struggles, and everybody goes through that. So what I've done is I've focused or agitated the problem or the pain. And even if someone's not having some challenges in their relationship, if they're married, they're going to listen to that and they're going to relate to that. And nearly everybody wants to create an additional income stream. And the way I've called it the world's greatest travel app, of course, is then in line with that same language that when we pop them into the subscription to fun page, I'm communicating that same language is what they're going to hear in the video. And hey, who doesn't want to ditch their money problems, fall in love, and take their dream honeymoon 3 to 4 times a year? So that's my first example. Feel free to steal it. My second example is more holiday focused. So the first one was more business focused if we're looking at reps. And you got to remember, you can only, when you're marketing, you got to choose one message, just one thing. If you're trying to talk about lots of different things, people are just going to get confused, and a confused mind takes no action. So it's super important that we have clarity with our marketing message when we're sharing what we do with somebody, whether that be at a barbecue, at the pub, in a cafe, if we're calling someone, or if we're marketing our message online. So the second example, this is more travel focused. So ready? It absolutely breaks my heart that the number one killer in the world is stress. So I help families take more holidays because holidays are scientifically proven to be the best health product on the planet and the fastest way to reduce stress. So my clients get to have less stress, have way more fun, and make magical memories together as a family as they save a bucket load checking off their bucket list with their family. You can see there's two completely separate examples, but I've followed the exact same structure for each. What is the problem? What is the solution? And what is the result that we have at the end? So I would love to give you lovely peeps an opportunity to have a practice. So I'm going to give you a moment to just have a think about that. So think about who it is you want to work with. What's the problem? Obviously, we know the solution. And then what is the result at the end of that? And while you're thinking about that, I know I'm putting you on the spot with this, but the cool thing is this is a safe place to practice. And then I can actually help you live edit it so that you can absolutely nail your message. I want to just give you a couple of other quick examples that actually are not holiday related. And I created these for my social media ABCs. So just another example, and this is for an at-home chef. So if I met you at a barbecue and said, hi, I'm an at-home chef, you probably go, yep, whatever. Whereas if I said, following this structure, hey, do you know when most people get home from work, they're absolutely exhausted and too tired to cook a healthy meal? And like obesity is through the roof at the moment. So many people are unhealthy because they are taking that quick and easy option, grabbing those unhealthy, expensive takeout meals on the way home. So I'm an at-home chef. I cook delicious, healthy meals delivered right to your door. So my clients get to come home to their favorite home-cooked healthy meal that won't cost them an arm and a leg. You can see there, if I'd have just said I'm an at-home chef, you're going to be like, yeah, whatever. But because I shared that story, that problem at the beginning, all of a sudden it's completely relatable. So I'm going to share with what I'm doing with social media. And I used this exact example yesterday. I jumped into a Facebook group that I'm a part of. It's basically women entrepreneurs helping women entrepreneurs. There are thousands of people in this group. It's a US-based group because I'm now looking at moving to expand my business globally in the US. And I literally shared this exact script in a couple of points with a whole heap of people in this group who were struggling with social media. And as a result, I've had 10 new people reach out and ask me to work with them just through this one script. So it's really powerful. So remember, problem, solution, result. So here's the beginning. Problem. Most entrepreneurs, as you know, are struggling to grow their business on social media, and they just don't know what to do. And, I'm sorry if I offend anyone here, but most marketing on social media absolutely sucks, and it's scaring potential customers away. So I've created an exact social media system that works and converts like clockwork, so my clients can ditch the overwhelm, clear the clutter, and forget the frustration when it comes to social media, and instead get the right foundations in place first so that they know exactly what to do to scale fast and attract their dream clients with confidence. Using that exact script, I got a whole bunch of people. So I can see we've had a couple of others just log in. So good morning and welcome. So what we're doing is I'm giving you a structure today to be able to master your message, to be able to share what we do. So we've got 3 steps, and we're going to do some live practicing here. So we've got what is the problem you solve? That's part 1. Part 2, what is your solution? Part 3, what is the result? So I'm going to quickly share those 2 travel examples again, and then I want to know who wants to go first, because I want you to be able to practice this. This is a live hands-on implementation call today. So the first travel example, and remembering this one's focusing on the business, the rep side. So problem, it breaks my heart that 50% of all marriages end in divorce, and the number 1 reason why is money problems. And we're going to move into phase 2, which is the solution. So I help save marriages by helping couples create an online income with the world's greatest travel app. We're moving into phase 3, the result. So my clients get to ditch their money problems, fall in love all over again, and take their dream honeymoon or family moon 3 to 4 times a year. So that is the first one. So that one is focused more on the rep side. So here's the second example, focusing on the travel side. It breaks my heart that the number 1 killer in the world is stress. So I help families take more holidays, because holidays are scientifically proven to be the best health product on the planet and the fastest way to reduce stress. So my clients stress less, have way more fun, and make memories as a family as they save a bucket load checking off their bucket list. So you can see there I've done a couple of different versions of those examples. So it's your turn. Who is going to be brave enough to go first? Have I got to volunteer, or do I have to pick someone?
I'll do it, Kylie.
Awesome, Noel. I love you, buddy. You're a champion. Well done. So remember, we've got to have a target, a focus group. So who do you want to focus on first and foremost?
Probably going to focus on business people, because that's most of my life. I was going to say,
perfect.
I find in business, one, you've got to have a lot of capital, so you got a high risk.
Yeah.
So we got a high risk of and that puts on a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got cancer not long ago, and my doctor said 85% of cancer comes from stress.
Wow, that's such a powerful message.
What I was going to say, so like when I was in business myself, high capital risk, long hours, and not looking after yourself neither. So I think we get bulletproof where we think, we're right, we can soldier on, but then we forget to exercise and eat properly because we're just under the pump all the time.
Okay, so just pause there for 2 seconds. So I've got, excuse me, business owners is the target, and then our problem. So I'm just putting this into the chat so everybody else can follow along. So our target is business owners. So the problem is to be in business, there's a lot of capital, high risk, long hours, not looking after ourselves, and lots of stress. And 85% of cancer comes from stress. So that's the problem. So now we're going to move into the solution. So how do you help your peeps?
Well, what I was going to say is the old saying, probably, we all always say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So diversifying a secondary income, where it'll allow us to free up our time, because if we make more money, we can pay somebody to help us work our business. you know, so if you know what, if you got extra money coming in, that takes a lot of stress out of business, because money is a big stress factor in there. And the thing is, in business, we always want to get ahead, but every time we want to expand, it costs so much money. So having a secondary income that you can expand and it can grow without you. So I'm not real sure how you.
That's okay. I'm basically just taking some notes to put in the chat as you go. So we'll kind of word it all at the end. So I've just written down their solution. I'm just taking your words. So I teach people how to diversify and create a plan B with a second income stream that allows them to free up their time, pay someone else to help in the business to get ahead faster.
And then the solution of
results.
Plan B is having the extra money to help with your health, take more holidays, because it's funny, my doctor, even when I came out of the pub, my doctor said, you know what, you're stressed out to the max, you need to take a holiday. What I was going to say, so a doctor's telling you, like, we get paid, our bosses pay us every year, if you're a full-time worker, to have holidays, because we know if we don't make our employees have holidays, they will burn out and they're not productive. You know what, every time when my workers would come back on holiday, they would be happier, they would be just more productive. They just like they like their love and work again.
Yeah. So come back charged and make and hang on. Okay. So we're kind of doing this on the fly, so of course we can, you know, pretty this up. So I've put there as the third part for your result in the chat. So I've put, so my clients are happier and healthier because they get to have more holidays to de-stress, avoid burnout, and come back recharged, and they get to have fun making memories with their family.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, while we're in traditional business, we're working that hard, we actually don't get to spend time, like, your kids think, wow, you know, missing out on their sport, missing out on, you know, events that they do every day because we're too busy making a living.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in traditional business, as much as we want to be there with the kids, the risk factor, you can't lose your business, you know. So then things have got to be sacrificed, and that's pretty sad, because we live life to have a great life, and enjoy life, and sometimes we sacrifice so much to get ahead.
100%, Noel. So can you see, and for everybody, you know, who's on live, and for those of you who are catching the replay, can you already hear, because we've now given Noel that direction and he's picked his niche of targeting business owners, see how his language has now changed? And it's so much more effective because he's now speaking the language of the potential clients or the audience that he wants to reach out to. So Noel, what you need to do now is just stay focused that you are basically targeting business owners. Because what I have seen, and look, this isn't just, you know, within our team, within World Ventures as a community. I see it across social media in business. If you aim at nothing, you're guaranteed to hit it. And most people are too scared to pick a niche or a target market because, one, they're in fear and scarcity because they don't want to go, well, if I, pick this niche, then I'm going to lose other people. But a person who tries to catch two rabbits catches none. And when you specialize, so if I know that you're someone who helps business owners create a second income stream to take the pressure off financially, to buy back their time, to be able to create, that amazing lifestyle with their family and have fun without the sacrifice, then we know you're the go-to person. So if someone else then has someone who's a business owner that they're talking to, they can then share your story and they can get you on a three-way call because you're our business owner guru. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I understand it. All my life I've worked for myself. So,
of course.
And it's lonely at the top. That's where networking is so good. Like when you're
Absolutely.
in business and be successful, you know what? You can't go sharing your ideas because somebody wants to steal them, unfortunately. Well, I was going to say, so, you know what, in this business, you have a mentor and a coach. That's one thing I love because in traditional business, your mentor and your coach is your opposition. So,
absolutely. Or you have to pay a small fortune for a coach to bring into your business.
Yeah, and like when I had my car yards, I used to have a mentor, and he owned Toyota dealerships, and he was very successful. And he said to me one day, and I'll tell you, it was the hardest thing I'd ever watched. He said, "You know what? If you can't walk away from your business and it grows without you and makes money without you, you have a job."
You own a job.
And I thought, you know what? I just got $2 million tied up in this business, and you're telling me that I haven't got a business, I've got a job. And he was right. Yeah. That was the hardest thing I had to come to. So then I needed to learn how to train and duplicate my time, or otherwise I just had, I just had a highfalutin job.
100%, Noel, 100%. And so many business owners out there are delusional, thinking that they have a business, but what they have is an anchor that's actually holding them down. So Noel, I'm going to now move across. So who wants to share next, Sandy or Nolene? And then what we're going to do is come back. So Noel, I want you to be just thinking about those 3 steps, and we're going to come back to you to share, pulling it all together. So
I will, Kylie.
Awesome, Nolan. I know you would have been taking notes and you'll be ready to rock.
I've taken a few. I'm a bit confused. So I think my message would be for people that are in the workforce like I am.
Yep.
So helping work stressed out people to dissolve their stress and tension by taking regular holidays, creating magical memories that will last a lifetime.
Yep.
Ticking items off their bucket list with the world's greatest travel app. But
Beautiful.
I know that needs some work.
That's okay. That's why we're here. So first of all, I want to acknowledge you for jumping in. So the target market or focus is people in the workforce. Yeah. So now what's the problem?
So they're money stressed. You know, a lot of people I speak to, I haven't even got money to go on holidays.
Yeah. So money stressed, have no money to go on holidays. They need a holiday, but they've got no money to go on holidays.
Right.
So because if you talk to anyone who's stressed, what do they all go, oh, I need a holiday. And they say it like that.
Yeah, they
right.
do.
Need a holiday, have no money to go on holidays. Beautiful. So then the next part is the solution. So I help my clients
to dissolve their stress and tension, I don't know, around money somehow.
Yep. So basically we've got the problem is they're working, they're stressed, they need a holiday, but they don't have the income to be able to do that.
Or they think they don't have.
Correct. So we're then looking into the solution. So for example, in the example that I had, so I help families take more holidays. No, I had it in here, sorry, because you've got the money side in there. So I help families create an online income with the world's greatest travel app so they can create an additional income stream and have more holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see how that segues, because you've got to have that smooth transition. It's all kind of got to be speaking the same language. So if we had the beginning that's talking about money and then the second half talking about holidays, we've got to somehow have it tie in and be aligned. Does that make sense?
Yep, that does. Yep.
Yeah, cool. So I help my clients to create an additional income stream by leveraging the world's greatest travel app. And I'm using that language because that's the language that our amazing leaders are using in the videos within the subscription to fund group. So using the world's greatest travel app. So that's the solution. And then what's the result?
Taking regular holidays and creating magical memories that will last a lifetime.
Beautiful. And I would add in the de-stress there, because then we're looping it back. Mm-hmm. Basically, what we're doing is we're creating a story loop. So we're creating the problem. We're saying, hey, that's the problem. We're agitating that, bringing that into their awareness. Then we're saying, but hey, it's okay, because here's the solution and here's the happy ending. This is what people do. So my clients get to de-stress, and I would even put and get paid to take amazing holidays. What was the words you used? Make memories.
Creating magical memories that will last a lifetime.
To create magical memories that will last a lifetime.
By ticking off bucket list items.
By ticking off. What did you say, bucket list items? What was the descriptive word?
By ticking off bucket list items with the world's greatest travel app.
Because we've got to make sure we don't have too many words in there too.
Mm-hmm.
By we'll just put epic. You can change it. Epic bucket list experiences. I like to use experiences rather than items, because to me, an item is a drink bottle or a handbag, whereas an experience, like that, just the word experience sounds better.
It does.
So Nolene, I've just popped that into the chat, so feel free to copy and paste that. So, so problem, I help people in the workforce. They need a holiday, but they have no money and they're super stressed out. So I help my clients to create an additional income stream by leveraging the world's greatest travel app. So my clients get to de-stress, get paid to create magical memories that last a lifetime by checking off epic bucket list experiences.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks, Kylie.
You are welcome. And you can start, obviously, when you start speaking that language, you can then start creating posts using that language on your page and essentially integrating that type of language into everything you do. And I think that's the biggest challenge. And I get so frustrated because, you know, people are just posting random stuff on Facebook, but there's no intention behind it. So it's super important that everything we do is intentional. I mean, yes, we want to show up and be social on social media, of course, but when it comes to making those business posts, if there's no continuity and it's not congruent, then all you're going to do is confuse people, and then nobody's going to actually reach out to you and go, hang on, like I want to know some more information. And so, like, for example, with Noel, now he's picked business owners. If he suddenly went, oh, I like Nolene's script, I'm going to share that and target employees, he's sending mixed messages out there. So he needs to now go, right, business owners is my jam, and that's who I'm going to focus on. And then it'd be like if I went fishing for marlin in the ocean, but then I started putting out bait to attract tuna. Like, I'm not going to attract a marlin with tuna bait, right? And it's exactly the same with this business. We need to have that clarity of who we're targeting and then make sure that we can master that message. But you can also have multiple different layers to your message once you've got this structure down pat, but making sure you're still targeting that same audience. Awesome. So Nolene, have a little practice of that, and I'll come back to you as well to share that in a moment. So Sandy, how are you, gorgeous lady?
Great, thank you. Great.
Awesome. So have you picked a target market?
Well, this is where I can see that I'm messy. And what happens is I think I picked it, but when I get out in the world, what's happening, I'm shaping it to fit in who I'm speaking to.
Yep.
And it gets all muddled.
Yeah.
And I can see that in my recent posts. And in the last week, it's like I was focusing on my demographic, who are fearful of outliving their savings, etc. They're sandwiched between their parents needing more care, and they've got a bunch of grandchildren. All of those issues, and health issues have come up to the surface, etc. So that's been, sort of front and center. Then I get out in the world and I met this gorgeous 22-year-old, and bang, I do this total flip, and I start talking about the cash flow quadrant.
Yeah.
Which is riveting, and she was very excited, and the conversation's still unfolding. But it's like I went right off track in terms of the structure.
So Sandy, and I want to just share this with you, just from my observation. So I remember you telling me on another call that you met a guy at the beach and you drew the cash flow quadrant in the sand.
I did.
And you had a really connected conversation, and you've done the same with this 22-year-old. So if that really speaks to you and you love the cash flow quadrant, you could just go with that. It doesn't have to be that other demographic.
Okay. And what the cash flow quadrant, like that concept, would go across those two niches.
Yeah.
Well, that it does.
Yeah. So now you've got to figure out, though, what is the problem? And obviously then the cash flow quadrant is becoming part of the solution, with the vehicle being World Ventures. So it's basically getting clarity now around who do you serve. So what's the problem that is consistent across both? Like, for example, if I go back to the chef example, we're talking about when people get home from work, they're absolutely exhausted, and they just don't want to cook a home cooked meal, so they grab the takeout. So that's the problem. Now that could be a business owner, it could be an employee. I didn't say if it was male or a female. I wasn't being, but I was specific about the problem, right? So what would be the problem that is consistent, that then the cash flow quadrant and the vehicle of World Ventures can then be the solution?
Oh, classic. It's a lack of time. And,
right.
Primarily lack of time and, minimal discretionary income. Minimal. So they're just stuck.
So see, now we're starting to pick some languaging. So you're helping people who are stuck.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
All right. Nolene has said she can't see anything in the chat. Can I just get you, Sandy? Can you see all the chat messages?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So Nolene, I can see. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna pop a message in here. Can you see this? Can you see that message, Nolene? Sorry, Sandy, to butt in there. Okay. So what I'll do, Nolene, is I'll just copy your message from above, and I'll just pop that back in there for you.
Has she got the setting to everyone at the bottom?
Well, I'm sending the message to everyone, so it should have worked. And then I'll just pop in there, Noel, which, and then there's Noel's result. Okay, yes, I can see that, and yes, it's set to run. Okay, so hopefully, Nolene, we've reset you now, so you should be fine. So, okay, so Sandy. So basically, your peeps, so we'll talk about the problem.
Yeah.
So they're stuck because they're time and money poor.
Absolutely. And highly stressed. It's really affecting their health. And of course, that's where my background of being in the health industry for so long, I get hooked in there. But it's working the 9-to-5 job.
So you're going more, so you're choosing employees versus business owners?
No, I'm not. No, just left-hand side of the quadrant.
See how you're wandering. So we've got to make sure that we're really targeting this, and because when the message is fluffy and it's all over the shop, that's where people aren't going to follow you. So it's really like you got to nail your niche, master your message, and then everything else, it's like the floodgates will open. Okay, so we've got, they're stuck because they are time and money poor. They're highly stressed out. So I guess another thing that you could say is they're feeling trapped.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because they are caught in the debt trap.
They're caught in the what?
The debt trap.
The debt trap. Oh, I like it. See how now, like, it's starting to evolve. We're not going to have all of this in the one message, by the way. We'll wordsmith it. So I like that, though. Caught in the debt trap. I love that.
This is good, Kylie, because what I did with a 22-year-old was I drew an image of the debt trap, which was just very simple to do. And she could see where she had a car loan, she had HEX, and she had pay later, you know, and she's 22 and she has $8,000 in debt.
What was it?
She's cut up her credit cards, but she's got a car loan, she's got HEX debt,
yep,
and pay later,
yep.
And $12,000 in debt, and 12. You know, she's 22 years old.
Was that 12,000 in debt?
8.
8.
And it was like 8 million to her.
Well, it can be like that sometimes.
Absolutely. There are people who have gone bankrupt for such small amounts of money, like because they're just so stressed and they just want it all to go away. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So can you see how that's now starting to mold together?
I can. I can actually
message?
feel my excitement's coming up.
Yes.
I'm feeling engaged, and that little image of the debt trap and then the cash flow quadrant and then talking about the mindset, and it's like, okay.
I love it, Sandy. I've got goosebumps. So basically you've got a triangle. So you had mindset, what did you call it? The debt map?
Debt, DEBT, trap.
No, when you said you drew it, did you draw the debt circle, did you say?
I drew the debt trap. Yes, it is a circle.
So mindset, debt trap, and then the cash flow quadrant.
No, the mindset is at the peak of the triangle.
Yep.
The debt trap is on the right-hand corner.
Yep.
And the cash flow quadrant's on the left-hand corner.
Yep. So you could actually draw this and video it. So I don't know, there's a couple of different applications. So there is an app that you can download. I got Alana to download it because she's using it on her videos. I think it's called, let me find out and I'll come back to you on what the app's called. I've got education in my head, but it's not education. Educreation or something like that.
Okay.
I'll find out. It's a really cool app that
Yeah.
you can basically draw things and put it all together on a screen, but
Yeah.
then you can record it.
Yeah.
You can also have your video and stuff like that. So that would be really powerful for you to be able to turn this into a little video that you can then use as part of your marketing toolbox.
Great.
Yeah. All right. So that's the solution. So we've got to now put that into a sentence. So I help.
Oh, well, it's business owners and employees, but
You can just say I help my clients if you like. We don't have to worry about that at the moment.
yeah. I help my clients to well, basically, I help my clients to have literally to take more holidays.
Yeah.
The problem.
And that's going to be the end result. We're in the solution now.
Oh, we're the world's greatest travel app.
Yeah. So I really like, though, how you had in there the mindset, the debt trap, and the cash flow quadrant. So it's like looping that in to then the world's greatest travel app on the holidays. Does that make sense?
Fantastic. Yes, yes, yes.
So how would you put that into a sentence?
I help my clients understand or to better understand their
Sandy, this triangle that we talked about with the mindset, the debt, and the cash flow quadrant, is that yours? Is that your IP, or have you gotten that from someone else?
I have, it's mine in terms of me pulling it all together.
Great. No. What do you want to call it?
How to have a happy life.
So the happy life triangle, that's pretty crappy. Feel free to share, Nolene and Noel, if you've got some suggestions, because I really love this. We could even call it a model. So it could be like
it is a model. I mean,
yeah.
It is a model, but I've taken it from, well, just all the places where we learn this stuff. Robert Kiyosaki is the cash flow quadrant. The debt trap is, well, that's the 40-40-40 plan.
Yeah.
It's just a symbol of the 40-40-40 plan.
Yeah. But you've put that together, right? So that's a model that you've created that you can own. Yes, the cash flow quadrant's not yours and whatever, but by putting it together in the way that you have, in the way that you communicate it, that is your model. That is your IP.
Okay, well, I certainly haven't thought of it like that.
Yeah.
But it really excites me to hear you share that back with me, because this is exactly what I've been doing in these last 10 years to try and work out how the heck did I get into this mess, and why am I, fast towards 80 and I'm having to start my life all over again. It's like, as a human being, we've got more potential. This is not what we're here for, to struggle with this.
Absolutely. And I want you to re-listen to this recording a couple of times too, with all the languaging and the words, because it's pulling all of this together. And we can work on this in the mastermind calls as well, because I really want to get this nailed, because it's so important. It's where most people are struggling.
Yeah.
So,
in my work, my neuroplasticity work, my clinic work, it's all about having people tap their potential as human beings.
Yeah.
That we were born with, And then there's these roadblocks that have been contrived by man to create an economy.
Yeah.
And the economy is killing us and the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. So it could even be around breaking free or those type of words. So again, like
free, fun and fulfillment, like that's it.
Absolutely. So it's funny you should say that. When we had our gyms, before we franchised, our brand was called F Factor, which was a triangle, which was fun, friendly fitness. But the F Factor, we used to call it, it was our secret inside language, was the fluff factor. No, we didn't fart. The fluff factor was that warm and fuzzy. It was the stuff that, people came in and they just felt amazing, but they just didn't know what it was, right? And we called it the fluff factor because it was all the invisible difference, the warm, fluffy stuff, the 6 human needs, the system that we had running in the background that was invisible to the members that just made everything work. So you can have the F factor if you like. We're not using that branding anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, I think we could find language that would speak to each of those components.
Yeah. So I'm just going to see what we've got here. So I help my clients to take control of their life. We'll just call it through my F factor model for now. We can change the name later. And leverage the world's great. No, leverage is not the right word there.
What about I help people get off the treadmill? Because the treadmill of life.
Yeah, that works actually, Noel. That's good.
That's very good.
Because you know what, we're too busy on the treadmill trying to pay the bills, pay the mortgage, provide a better life for our family, that we just get stuck on the treadmill. Like you can say, I help people get off the treadmill of life, or help people shift from the treadmill to a better life. I don't know, like Kylie's good at but if you put treadmill,
I love that, Noel. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kylie will work it out. But like, if you're basically what you're doing is helping people get off the treadmill of the crazy life that we live to try to get ahead.
Exactly.
And that's what Kiyosaki concentrates on as well, as getting off. He helps people get from off the treadmill to move into. Actually, it's funny. I was listening to him last night. I fell asleep listening to him, where he was saying that when you work for money, you'll always work for money. What I was going to say, but if money works for you, you'll always be free.
Oh, 100%. So awesome, Noel. So, Sandy, I've just used Noel's suggestion and I've popped it in the comments. We haven't nailed it yet, but at least we're starting to get there. So if we go back to, Sandy, where's yours? I've got a problem. Here we go. So, Sandy. So you know how most people are stuck, they're time and money poor, they're highly stressed out, they're feeling trapped because they're caught in the debt trap. So I help my clients get off the treadmill with a new financial vehicle so my clients have more time, more money, and the freedom to live a happy life where they can take holidays whenever they like. It's not perfect.
That sounds great.
But you can see from where we started to where we are by using that 3-step framework. It is so damn powerful. And at least now you've also got more clarity in what your niche is. Yes. So now you can be intentional when you're having conversations with people, you're speaking the same language. Like when I talk about caterpillars and butterflies now, everybody knows, that's Kylie's IP. And really the caterpillar butterfly thing, it's totally related to what we're talking about right now, right? What's the problem? That's the caterpillar state. Yeah. What's the solution? That's the cocoon.
Yes.
What's the result? That's the butterfly. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's just working through that 3-step framework. But if you have no idea who your caterpillar is, then you're not going to attract the right people. You're not going to attract anyone because no one has any clue what you're talking about or what it is that you do.
Well, that's pretty much what's been happening.
And Sandy, you are not alone. Like seriously, 97% of the population is doing that. And even like I see so many business owners that they struggle with their marketing because they haven't got this. So I feel like it's my mission in life for people to get this message. Because this is what unlocks everything else when it comes to marketing and creating success in business. No matter what business you have, this 3-step process applies.
This is absolutely awesome, Carl. Thank you so, so much. And you're spot on. You're just spot on. I mean, this is change-making stuff.
Yeah. It certainly is. It certainly is. And look, it's taken me a long time too to like work out. Like I have been looking at what we've been doing. Like my creative genius is helping people to get this stuff, right? To master their message, to get that communication clear so that they can scale their business online. And I had been struggling with my own message because it's so much easier to work on other people's stuff than it is to work on your own. And it wasn't until I was working with my coach and I actually saw what she was doing, and I had this big aha moment to realize that my genius is social media, but it's the basics that you need in place. If you don't have those foundations first, it's like trying to build a house without foundations. It's just going to fall down. And I was feeling frustrated that I'd seen so many people who were struggling on social media who weren't getting ahead. I'm like, what is the one thing that they're all missing? And I went back to a program that I wrote 5 years ago. And there it was in big bold letters. The number one mistake that most people make is they're not speaking the same language as their clients. And so I kind of worked backwards, and that's how I created the whole social media ABCs and how this whole thing has unfolded for me. And since I've got that, I have got so many people reaching out to me, asking me to help them. Like, it is insane. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, how does that relate to World Ventures? Well, how it relates is I'm now clear on my caterpillar. I'm bringing them through, and who doesn't want to have holidays, right? But it's knowing where in the journey is the right spot to share the holidays. And what I was finding, I had so many people who were like, Kylie, we want to work with you, but we don't want to build World Ventures. We're not interested in that. Whereas by doing it this way, I can bring them through. They don't have to build the business, but they can certainly have some amazing holidays. So there you go.
That's very exciting.
It is. It is so exciting. All right. So we're going to, well, Sandy, I'll give you the opportunity first. Do you want to share your 3-step now? Do you feel like you're ready to rock it, or do you want a bit of time to process it a bit?
Let me see. I need to process it a bit.
Yep, that's okay. Alrighty. So Noel, we're going to go back to the beginning. So Noel, then Nolene, and then we'll come back to you, Sandy. So Noel, are you ready to give it a crack? Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Every master was once a disaster. You don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. So this is like just the beginning in starting to master this, and it'll evolve over time. So Noel, baby, champion, you are up.
Rightio. So now, what do you want me to do? Just define those whole 3 together, or?
Yes, I want you to put it into a sentence, right? So if I met you at a coffee shop and I said, oh, we got chatting, so Noel, tell me, like, what do you do? So just before you do, I'm going to share those other 2 travel examples. So someone says to me, oh, so what do you do? Well, it breaks my heart. You know how 50% of all marriages end in divorce, right? And the number one reason is money problems. So I help save marriages by helping couples create an online income with the world's greatest travel app. So my clients get to ditch their money problems, fall in love all over again, and take their dream honeymoon or family moon 3 to 4 times a year. So that's example 1. Example 2, hey, well, tell me, what do you do? Well, it breaks my heart. The number one killer in the world is stress. So I help people take more holidays, because holidays are scientifically proven to be the best health product on the planet and the fastest way to reduce stress. So my clients get to have less stress, more fun, and make memories as a family as they save a bucket load checking off their bucket list. So that's just a couple of examples.
Rightio.
So Noel, what do you do?
What do? I help business people.
Problem first. Problem. What's the problem?
What's the problem? I help people get their life back.
Nope.
No.
What's the problem?
What's the problem? Stress. No.
All right. So ask me, what do I do?
Rightio, what do you do, Kylie?
I'm Noel, everybody, for a moment. Well, after being in business for so many years, it breaks my heart to see so many business owners stressed out and struggling. They're sacrificing time with their family. They have absolutely no freedom, high risk, high capital, which leads to mega high stress. And you know what? I just recently got diagnosed with cancer. I was told I had 3 months to live. And my doctor told me that 85% of cancer comes from stress. So I teach business owners how to diversify and create a plan B with a second income stream that helps free up their time and allows them to de-stress by leveraging the world's greatest travel app. So business owners who work with me, they get to have more time, more money, de-stress. They're going to be happy and healthy to be able to create amazing memories taking holidays with their family.
Wow, I think you can be me for a while. I'll take you with me.
No, that was a little bit long-winded.
I was going to say, wow, that just smashed it out the park. How am I going to come back from that?
But you know what? You can listen to this recording over and over. But what I did is when I started working with process, I wrote it out. So essentially what you're creating is your 1-minute message. So what's your 1-minute elevator pitch really is what this is. So it's just getting clear. And I wrote it out and I said it and I said it and I said it. I must have said it 100 times. If you look at the audio recordings in my phone, I've recorded myself saying it at about 30 times. So it just flowed, right? Because that's the key. It has to just flow. That this is just the starting point. And then once you get clear on this, you could turn this into a 1-minute video and share it on your Facebook page. You can share on Instagram.
Yeah, because that's really good, because normally when people ask me now, like this is really good doing this morning, because normally when people will ask me now, they'll say, what do you do? I said, I help people get financially free in their life and time.
Yeah.
So they've gone, wow, that sounds great. I said, what's financial freedom mean to you, And they'd say, having more money in the bank, spending more time with my kids and family, taking some holidays. And then I'd say, wow, that sounds really great. If I could show you a way how you could achieve all that, would you be interested? So because I'm a business person, I always say I help people get financially free. Yeah. So that really opens what's financial freedom mean to you.
Yeah.
And then the person is talking nearly the whole time, and I'm only asking a few questions.
Yeah.
And they're telling me their pain. They're telling me what they want in life, and I say, well, how good would that feel if we could help you achieve that? And they'd say, that was amazing, because usually when people meet people, all they want to do is talk about themselves, not the person you meet.
Yeah. And Noel, that is brilliant. We just got to add on the one next layer, because what's missing is we're not agitating the problem. We're not creating the pain. And remember, people buy for one of two reasons. They'll buy for pleasure, or they'll buy to avoid pain. And pain is the stronger buying emotion every single time. It's why if you look at any marketing message, it always starts with the pain. We agitate the problem, because otherwise people look at it and go, well, that's really nice. It sounds great to be financially free and have all these holidays, but I just can't see how that can apply to me. Versus when we agitate the problem, that freaking gets that fireball in their belly fired up to like, oh, he's called me on that. I don't want that. And yes, I would love to have that. And then that's what's going to have them move through, is agitating the problem of where they're at. Because I remember when, I was introduced to this concept, the lady who shared it with me, she just kept talking about holidays. We just lost everything. Like, we were struggling to, put food on the table and put a roof over our heads. So I didn't think holidays was possible for 10 years. So she wasn't speaking my language. Yeah. But if she'd agitated the problem and, asked the right questions, it could have been a whole different story. Now, listen, I'm conscious of time. I can't believe how quickly this call has totally flown today. See, you're in flow when time just completely disappears. It's amazing. So what I want you to do is practice, and really just keep practicing. This is probably a recording that you want to listen to quite a few times. When you listen to it, just write down the times of when I was actually working on your particular message, and just rewatch that part over if you like. Yeah. And the other thing is, write it down. So I put my stuff into a Word document because it's just easy. I don't like to have paper or anything like that anymore. So if it's in a Word document, because then it's easy to edit it as well. But the key is to speak it. You want to say it over and over and over. Practice, 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 practice until it just rolls off your tongue. And it's really, really super simple. So yeah, so I would love to just, hear as we wrap up the call, what was the most valuable thing you got? Did you get value? We'd love your feedback. So who wants to go first?
Well, I think it was amazing. I think it was amazing, Kylie. I actually didn't realise what time it was. I got an appointment at 9 o'clock. But you know what? We're having that much fun. You know what? Sometimes we complicate things,
Yeah.
And you know what? If we just be real and go with the flow, how easy it is. Sometimes we get into a business and then we think, oh, we can't talk, we can't do this, we can't do that. All you got to do is just have fun and be yourself.
And simplify the message.
Yeah. So I'm going to love you and leave you, but hey, I'll talk you through the day because I want you to help me do that pace because that's amazing.
You're welcome. And I'll make sure I copy and paste each of this before I jump off Zoom so that I can send that through as well. So now Nolene's also said, I have to go. I've got a market stall this morning. She's going to work on her message, catch the rest of the recording, and wishes everybody a great week. So Sandy, last 30 seconds and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, absolutely stunning. I love this a lot, and you really gifted me a lot. Clarified some challenges I've had. Very exciting, high energy, just filled with gratitude. And just a quick reminder about the video app.
The video app.
You're going to talk to your daughter about.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that reminder. Can you send me a quick private message right now, and then I'll run down and I'll actually send you a link as well to a YouTube clip that actually explains how to do it. So you'll have that as well.
I'll see you later, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being on. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Bye.
Hi, honey. I've just said